We interrupt our program to bring you
essential services.
Hi, Toni. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit with me today. I'll tell you a little bit about what we're doing. So, we're starting a new series called Essential Services. And it's basically, in Corona time, that's the only thing that's allowed to be open. So, we're shining a light on services that we truly feel are essential, especially now. What would you call yourself? What would you call what you do?
I would call, well, since my profession is being a psychologist, so for personal reason, I studied shamanism for a few years.
Wow.
So I would say because I'm been more focused on doing some healing and tarot readings, because sometimes we really don't know where our troubles come from. So I would say that I am like an intuitive therapist.
Oh, wow, an intuitive therapist. I
Yeah,
love that. And shamanism. These are all amazing.
right.
Yeah, these are all terms and phrases that I love. Like, could you explain a bit more about what shamanism is and intuitive practices as well?
Yes. Shamanism is the ability to transform reality. And in this regard, it is easy to explain as, let's say, you've been struggling with some deep karma, can be, let's say, from past lives or this life, depending on what you are living. And you come to me and we figure out what is happening. And then usually everyone needs a cleansing, because it's not like in most of our cultures, like, hey, you need to see a shaman every once in a while to clean up your energy. Sometimes it is inherent in some cultures, but not all of them. Also, there are religious ideas that people is like feeling not, you cannot trust that much a shaman, because of course there are also all types of shamans. So it's kind of like a difficult thing. I always say to people, look for the background of this person, and most important, you need to trust your instincts. This gut instinct that says everything, that we don't like to listen to it, but it is there to preventing us from failure, making mistake and suffering. But most of the times, anyone is teaching. Um, Perhaps parents nowadays might be doing it more, but it's not like your mother said, "Oh yeah, you need to trust your gut instinct and this and that." The truth is
Yeah.
not like that.
Yeah. On that, with what would you say would be the difference between sort of having anxiety or having a gut feeling? Do you know? Because sometimes I feel like I'm worried if it is it my gut or is it am I just being anxious and scared? Is it fear or is it intuition?
I would say regarding that, depending on your previous life and circumstances, it's like dreams. If you are a prophet since you were a little kid, your dreams might become true. Only in that context you can be listening to your dreams. But most of us, our dreams are a reflect of our unconscious, and those are our fears most of the time if you analyze them. So what is the difference? Well, if I know I'm an anxious person, no matter what, everything gives me anxiety.
Mm.
Is this honesty with yourself first. But if you feel this anxiety when there is someone present, or in some places that you realize things are like a little weird, or the vibe of this person, I don't know why, but I don't feel I can trust, and that anxiety comes from that. but
Right.
it's not like always, then you can say you have something in your gut instinct. And also, if you're a person that is always that you have learned to listen to it and is always validating with your body if things or persons or circumstances are right or not for you.
What if you were wanting to work through that uncomfortable emotion? What if something's like pulling at you and you're feeling that like stiffness and you don't want to do it, but you do want to push through? What do you know what I mean? Like, how do you sort of push through difficult and uncomfortable emotion? Or is it just your
First
gut
of
and you should abandon and move somewhere else?
you can assess it very easily. Um, your gut instinct or your intuition is going to, if you feel like you need to run away, that is your answer. It is actually very simple. It's like surviving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as you can see, we are the way human beings are. All the structures, not only in our physical body, but also the structure our etherical bodies, etc., are set to for us to be this very big and how can I say beautiful beings. This is why we can achieve the worst and the best.
So I guess we'll tie it like right now. It's a massive time of uncertainty, and it breeds fear, and we're afraid. Basically, what are your thoughts during this time with all of the wisdom that you do have and your practice of intuitive healing? What are your thoughts right now?
I was in the beginning trying to understand what was happening because there were and there is still a lot of information and conspiracy theories and this and that. But the thing is that we are all in lockdown, in all everywhere in the world. All the countries have at some level highest or lowest standards of security right now. At this point, we don't know who has the karma to get the virus. And if this is your karma, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So what you need to do is to release this need of all of us to control everything. This is the perfect lesson that we need to learn, that we need to follow the flow. We need to do what is best for us. In my country, we still can go out and go to grocery shopping and the bank and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't go like this without a mask. Come back and have the hygiene procedures that they are suggesting. Do your best.
Yeah.
But there is people that even doing that are getting ill. So that is what it's supposed to be. But we are human beings. We're not free of emotions of fear. So it was like, what resonates with me? I want to be okay. I don't want to get ill. But what am I going to do if I get ill? Be careful. And by being anxious, by being angry, by being desperate, I'm not getting anywhere. It's like digging a hole and you eventually need to get out of that hole yourself. Your very same hole. Why getting there? Be distracted, like I've said. Now it's a time to cook your famous grandma's cake and sell it with your neighbors or friends.
Yeah.
Or say, hey mama, how is that recipe that I love, that delicious salad or whatever she does?
Yeah.
This is the moment to learn that.
Right. I guess because
for
we're
all
sort of at the
us.
beginning. So, like, for people sort of, I know there's some articles circulating that it's really not going to get back to normal until sometime next year, or it's
Right.
July. or stuff like that. And I can imagine some people really starting to freak out and feel very anxious about it. For anybody that's struggling and looking for guidance, what can they do?
I would suggest, because many are facing, they haven't taken care of their families. They haven't communicated with their spouses or children or anyone. And they are forced to live without going out these days and for weeks and weeks and weeks. So I don't know if you have read the news that in France, they are using their rooms in hotels to have women and their children, those are having in domestic violence. So that is an excellent idea for all the countries. We are in lockdown, but I'm here with my worst enemy that is saying nasty things to me, that is hitting me or my children. And this is your reality. Perhaps you could have left long ago and you didn't do it for whatever reason. Now life is forcing you to see your reality.
That's great. And for anybody that would like to speak with you personally, what can they do? How do they get in touch with you? What are your services? Like, what can somebody go to you and get done? Like, are you doing it via Zoom still? Or
There are a few techniques that I use to help someone, and that it's depending on the problems they have. From releasing your fear, the collective fear of getting the virus. From I lose my job and I'm totally shocked and in fear, and just looking at this little part of my fear. Hey, you can open up. You cook delicious. Start cooking. Go, and you have a car. Go with your neighbors and offer your services. Hey, I can go to the grocery shop and get, or market, and I can get whatever you need and charge a fee. It's just a matter to open up your eyes and see the possibilities we have now of earning money. So I have been more in that mood of doing this cleansing, energy cleansing. And if somebody else wants maybe a very small tarot reading, because right now these are times of uncertainty. Like we said, we don't know how long we are staying here. We don't know once that is done how the economy is going to be. And it's not the same at Australia than USA than Mexico or Brazil. Economies are very different, and the cultural thing is very heavy as well. So we need to adapt also to that. And if you've never paid attention to yourself, and this is the moment, you don't know how to do it, or if you trust, it's a little complex. But if you guys want some guidance, I'm here. I can provide you my Instagram.
We'll put
account.
All the details there. It'll pop up.
And I would like to offer you a session of like this, so you know, so you have the taste.
I would love that. Love that.
Because you need to connect to God yourself. We don't need any priest or pastor, some intermediate person to talk to God. We have His spark inside of us. It's just a matter to sit down, sit still, and listen to have intention to talk to God. We are healthy people, so we have thoughts. our brain is working. So my suggestion is always, those thoughts, let them pass as if they were clouds. Thank God you are having thoughts, you are healthy.
Yeah.
So this approach of don't think about anything and this and that is not realistic. This is why other cultures as Tibet or India, you need to just pronounce mantras that are these powerful words, and you're pronouncing those mantras, then your mind is not thinking, it's concentrated on the mantra. So they were very smart, you know?
Yeah.
So if somebody wants, I'm open to teach them the basics.
I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time to
Thanks
speak to
to
us. This is amazing and really transformative. I think this is going to go really, really well. And I definitely want to do like a reading or something.